Hello, my name is Meg Achilles and I recently completed some research with the support of Central Queensland University. My research investigated the differences between males and females in their production of power and was assessed using a bench press throw. The production of power is crucial to many sports, especially those involving explosive bursts of high-intensity efforts. Powerful movements can be characterized by the generation of force over an acute period of time and can be assessed using a variety of different measures. Previous research has investigated the differences between males and females on power output, with many studies using lower body power assessment measures. Prior research on traditional resistant exercises indicates that muscle force production varies depending on gender, as shown in this table here. The Smith machine bench throw press has been used in many studies investigating power. Bench throw power has been found to correlate highly with maximal strength and performance in power events. However, few studies have brought these two together, assessing upper body power production in males and females using the bench throw. As a result, the purpose of this research was to firstly investigate whether the same gender differences would be observed as in the previous research, that is, that men will perform better on an upper body plyo power test than women, and if so, this then provides validation to the bench throw assessment measure as a reliable and valid measure of upper body power. The participants in this study comprised of 31 female and 13 male university students that partook as part of their second-year exercise and sports science course. Participant characteristics are shown here on the slide. Before participating in the study, participants were required to confirm that they were healthy and well and cleared to exercise. The study received approval from Central Queensland University's Human Research Ethics Committee. The study employed a between-subjects, single-test experimental design. Participants were required to complete a barbell bench throw using the plyo power or Smith machine. The plyo power system comprised the Smith machine, an electronic brake, a string encoder transducer, and a ballistic measurement system, which was the software used to calculate average and peak maximal mechanical power output. The participants followed a standard testing protocol. Prior to commencing the study, descriptive data was collected for participants, that is, their gender, age, weight, engagement level, and also how many years engaged in physical activity. Before the first test, the ballistic measurement system displacement was calibrated. Participants then followed a standing testing protocol as recommended from previous research. Standard technique for the bench throw was employed for each participant, and participants were supervised throughout the throw. Means and standard deviations were calculated for both genders using their power output, measured in newtons, from their 1 RM press throw at 60% of their maximum. Bench throw power production at 60% of their maximal throw was 476.16 newtons for women and 939.61 newtons for men. A two-tailed independent t-test revealed a significant interaction between the power output produced by males and females, and the results are shown there on the slide. So what do the results of this study tell us? The study tells us that there are differences between men and women and their ability to produce power on an upper body strength test. These results align with the previous literature, which investigated gender differences on different power assessment tools. The results tell us that the bench throw test using a Smith machine and ballistic measurement system is a reliable measure. It produces the same results over and over. It tells us that the bench throw test is a valid test. It assesses what it purports to measure. It also tells us that the 60% one repetition maximum testing protocol is applicable to a generally healthy and physically active population, like that of the sample that was employed in this study. However, there were always going to be some limitations to a study. In this one, some of the limitations include, firstly, that it was a small sample size. It is recommended in the future that a bigger sample is used to check that the results are replicated. Secondly, given that it was a non-random sample and that they were recruited through the university, there is the presence of confounding variables and individual variation. In this study, they can be age, body composition including your lean muscle mass, and the time spent in physical activity or the years of training that the participants had had prior to this testing. In particular, the type of sport they do. For example, those with sport that uses more plyometric power might have some trained effects. Moreover, and as a result, this may limit the findings to the general population. So there are some practical implications for the results of this research, and they mainly apply to people involved with exercise programming or prescription, such as coaches, personal trainers, and exercise physiologists. Firstly, that there are differences between men and women, and programs should be tailored as such. Secondly, that women tend to have less upper body strength or production of power, and therefore this could be a focus of their strength training programs to improve that explosive upper body strength, in particular if it's related to their sport, say powerlifting or rowing. And lastly, that the ballistic bench throw exercise is a valid and reliable means to assess upper body production of power and would provide a useful pre-test and post-test measure. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope you found that useful.